France is bracing for a day of widespread disruptions. Workers have walked out en masse across the country to protest against the government's plan to raise the retirement age. Now, it's a make or break moment for French President Emmanuel Macron's pension reform plan. Tens of thousands have taken to the streets in major cities, including Paris, Marseille, Toulouse, Nantes and Nice, bringing transport services to a standstill. Schools are shut as well, metro lines suspended, and hundreds of flights have been cancelled. Thousands of police officers have been deployed to maintain order at the more than 200 rallies that are taking place across the country. For more, Sarah Coates joins us live now from Paris. Sarah, it looks like gridlock there. Has everything pretty much ground to a halt? What's the situation like?
Yes, hello there, Dawn. Lovely to speak with you. Look, you're completely right. All public transport has basically ground to a halt, except for two train lines, which are self-driving. As you mentioned, it is being called Black Thursday, a mass cross-sector mobilisation with these unions, these 8 massive unions here in France. This is the first time that they've united in more than a decade. They're calling on everyone to take to the streets to denounce this controversial pension reform plan, which would push the age of retirement from 62 up to 64. We're here at this major demonstration in Paris. Already looks like thousands upon thousands of people on the street. This is the starting point. All of these unions have their big balloons up. People have already started firing little explosives. I've seen police go past in water cannons. There are tens of thousands of police really right around the city because, as we know from past events such as this, these sort of things can very quickly turn ugly. So we'll be monitoring, Dawn, this from the very beginning here. We're hearing now announcements coming out from these unions. They're starting to rally people for the beginning of this march. But as you said, it has really brought the country already to a standstill. And this is only just the beginning, Dawn.
Sarah, the unions are leading the charge there. But if they don't get what they want as a result of these protests, what are the options then? What are the scenarios that we are potentially looking at?
Well, look, there are 3 possible scenarios, really, Dawn. This was a key election promise of the Macron government back in 2017. He tried to get it through in about 2019, but of course, COVID put that on the back burner. The second option is they do have a loophole there within Parliament. They can push this through Macron's government without a vote, without any debate there in the Assembly, although that would prove to be very costly for Macron, given it would, potentially cause a lot of distrust both in the Assembly and here on the street within the government. What we are hearing from these unions, Dawn, is they are saying they will not back down. They're calling this pension reform unfair and unnecessary, while these people here who are coming out to protest against this potential pension reform, we've been speaking to them since we've been here. They say that they agree with these unions. They do not want to see the pension age risen. They say that, their jobs are too demanding, they work too hard, and they simply cannot imagine working an extra 2 years. It is important also to point out that there has been a recent poll, Dawn, with nearly 70% of French people saying they're deeply dissatisfied with this potential move, while some have come out to say they do believe that there should be some changes, though, to this reform, just not upping the age, given that there is an ageing population and 14% of public spending here in France actually goes on pensions. So, Dawn, it's pretty safe to say the next few months here in France will be pretty decisive for the Macron government, and also pretty decisive to see what actually happens with this proposed pension reform, Dawn.
Sarah, thank you for that update on workers' protests in France. Sarah Coates there, reporting live from Paris.